what we're going to do with our, I want to lay out a couple rules here. I believe in playing completely. The play is the intersection. That's the way we get into Shakespeare. And that's the way we get into a class. And Jason, I love that you're nodding your head and you're seeing it. I mean, I want my class to be fun, no matter what it is. And that's the intersection. And when the minute they find out that, and I also think when we're working with Shakespeare that we are undoing this cultural brainwash that I'm not supposed to understand it, or I don't, oh, that's hard. I don't get that. If I can get to a kid, by the time we hit 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, before they get brainwashed in junior high to say that they can't understand it, then they become advocates for Shakespeare itself, kind of what Devon was talking about there too. So for me, the three things are, we call them Shakespeare's plays. They're not the works of William Shakespeare, they're the plays of William Shakespeare. And that's how we unpack and discover them, up and on our feet. Carmen, you were talking about the first folio method. That's how it works. You pick it up and it's up and it's on its feet. They performed in playhouses. The actors on stage were actually called players. And we call them the works of Shakespeare because that's how they published them, etc. But they were the plays. And the best way to discover is to play itself. Next moment, I'm a huge fan of Viola Spolin. And I don't know if any of you know Viola Spolin, but Viola Spolin, I'm seeing the theater people nodding. Viola Spolin is the mother or the grandmother of the Chicago improv scene. I would say you could track every bit of improv back to Viola Spolin. And then it kind of goes off and you've got East Coast, West Coast, LA, Chicago, comedy, sports, all that type of stuff. But I have I'm on probably my third version of improvisation for the theater. And so when anybody asks me, where do you get your games from? What's cool is I've just been collecting games throughout my whole career. I also went to school way back in the 80s where we didn't have the internet. And so I had to go to a library and pull things off of shelves and actually look up that way and start collecting things that way. And I just started collecting games and theater exercises. And if I can steal an example from Devon, I went, wow, where can I use that in a classroom? Ooh, this would be a really great way to do this. And so I just kind of started inventing. I also live in Cedar City, Utah. I worked in Bakersfield, California. Before that, I was in Richfield. So these are all rural, kind of rural areas. And in those areas, before the internet, we're kind of making it up as we go along. We're putting together lesson plans with barbed wire and Scotch tape. And found that it was really, really a great way to merge both Shakespeare and these beautiful performance games. Now, I have to tell you philosophically, I don't just play an improv game to play an improv game. I always have a philosophy or a reason behind it. And a lot of times you'll find in theater classrooms, let me do a little theater education here, we will use sometimes improv to just kind of fill the space. We'll just throw a game out and we'll play a game. And for me, I'm very much about, you don't just play a game. There is a purpose and there is a goal behind a teaching objective and an assessment that's built in automatically to the improv games that we have. So you'll see that as I work through here. I also know that not every game works. If you've been teaching for just a little bit of time, you jump in and all of a sudden it doesn't work with this group of kids, or it falls right on your, all that type of stuff. And that's okay. That's okay. That game didn't work. Why didn't it work? Maybe I didn't hype it up the right way. Maybe they didn't know or understand. I have started with games that have gone this way, and then all of a sudden they'll come back this way. There's just a quick philosophy about games. We'll get into that more when I start talking about workshops. For me, not knowing what this group of people was going to be like, and also not knowing what this format was like, I've got a whole bunch of Zoom-friendly icebreakers, and all of the stuff that I'm going to be covering with you when we get into the workshop portion, I have written descriptions of each of these games. I do not have written descriptions here. I will have it by tomorrow, because what did I do? I just went to the internet and went, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that, and just pulled them off. So I'm going to throw these games out real quick. If we don't see how we would play it, we will play it here just so you can get it in your bones and in your body, because the best way to learn a game is by playing it itself. First game is a name tag game, super easy. All of you are in regular classes right now, correct? Yes? Nobody's, you're doing a little bit of hybrid, Megan, is that right? So this works in a Zoom format, but it can also work in this type of format as well. And the name game works like this. I'm it. I'm going to call somebody's name because the names on my screen are different than the names on your screen, order-wise, right? So it's tough to kind of play a Zoom and just go in order because your order is different than mine. So I'm going to throw out a name, and they're going to be it. And we're going to, what do we want to play with? Let's play with favorite foods, okay? So everybody think of a favorite food. You got your favorite food in your mind? It doesn't even have to be a favorite food. It can just be a name of something fun to say. So you might like the word avocados or bananas or enchilada or any type of, so just think of a really fun food word to say. I love Shakespeare and food word intersections. We'll get into that when we get into gibberish shortly, okay? But for now, I'm going to call out somebody's name. They're going to, the minute I call their name out, are going to act like they've been hit, like I've tagged them, and we'll say bananas. So if someone were to call my name, they would say Michael, and I'd go avocado, and then I'll call somebody else's name, and then they'll yell, and they'll call somebody else's name, and they'll yell. Sarah, you're off screen. I'm not sure if you want to play with us or not. If you want to play, you can put your camera back on. If not, you can just watch us play. Okay, ready to play? Here we go. We're just going to keep tagging and throwing out names. Do not say the same word more than once. In other words, if I call Jason and then somebody goes back and calls Jason again, he's going to have to yell something else out. Okay, ready? Here we go. And Carmine.
Arugula.
Call somebody else's name out.
Leslie.
Quesadilla! Devon. You're on mute, Devon.
Oh, mute. Oh, no. Still muted.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Spaghetti.
Perfect.
Bacon.
Clementines. Jason.
Oh.
Cheese.
Megan. I'm sorry. Now your turn, Jason.
Michael.
It's such an easy game. Alfredo. Megan.
Cheesecake.
Somebody else.
Oh, yeah. So now it's somebody else. Sarah.
Sarah might be out.
Oh, Sarah's out. Okay.
Oh, she's coming back. We got her back into the food game.
You made me come back. Pizza!
Call somebody's name.
Carmine.
Garlic broth.
Okay, good. Fantastic. So, garlic broth. That's amazing. So here's what's cool. Jason did something. He did something here which is really great. Okay, so I wasn't sure if I was going to have a bunch of eggheads. Congratulations, you're not eggheads. I wasn't sure if we were going to be a little uptight at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you've already connected physically to this. I want a physicality, and you'll notice Jason, he took a physicality. You can grab it, you can explode. So when I say your name, boom, you'll do it, and then you'll say it. So everybody think, do you still want to keep playing in the food world, or you want to go to something else? Yeah? Yeah, let's keep playing in the food world. Oh, I didn't hear what that said, but let's play in the food world, okay? And some explosion when we hit and say the names. Okay, are you ready to go? Ready, and Megan.
Are we doing food still?
Food. That was so
Okay. Spaghetti squash.
Perfect. Say a name.
Carbine.
Again. Applesauce. Devon.
Oh, Pop-Tarts. Sarah.
Oh, mute. We're killed by mute.
sorry.
That's all right.
Tacos.
Perfect.
Honestly.
Oh, eggplant parmesan.
Oh,
Jason.
Oh, persimmon.
Say it.
Bacon.
paprika. Paprika. I don't know. That's a food. Okay.
Good. Say it.
Devon. Oh, Michael. Sorry, Michael. You haven't been called on this time. Michael.
Chicken chimichanga.
Good one.
Good. So you see how the game works, right? Yeah. Okay. Now you'll notice that we were working with text and words first. Okay. So right now I'm just trying to free students up so that they're saying chimichanga, avocado, that persimmon. They're grabbing on even words like spaghetti. Those are really, really great words. I have a really, really fun game called, I have to see if I can get a description of it. I'll write it here. That's the problem. When I start pulling games out, I go, ooh, is this written down? It's called Sardines, and Pork and Beans, Sardines, and Pork and Beans. I'm going to leave Sonnet Man to do what he's going to do. The whole class starts saying Sardines, and Pork and Beans. And then after we get the whole class going, then I got another section that goes, sardines on my plate, 'cause I don't like steak. Sardines on my plate, 'cause I don't like steak. Sardines, and pork and beans. We got that going on. And then I just throw and I ask Carmine, what's your favorite food? Give me your favorite food, Carmine.
Chickpeas.
Fantastic. And he's already doing it. Chickpeas, chickpeas, and he then ties in chickpeas into our sardines. So we laid this down as the first beat. Again, you're going to go into the advanced mode with Sonnet. So just consider us in a special ed elementary school. We're just doing this thing on this side. But chickpeas, and then after we get done with the whole game, I said, what did you notice about those words? So words have power. Words and language, they sound like what they are because of the meaning we assign to that. Arugula, that is a fantastic word. Arugula. How many of you have tasted arugula? And you just, that again, words have power. Everyone say the word marshmallow. Say it out loud. I know your mics might be on or off, but say it out loud. Ready and go, marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Marshmallow.
Sounds like what it is, right? Everyone say the word stick.
Stick.
Sounds like what it is. Everyone say the word love.
Love.
Everyone say the word hate.
Hate.
Yeah. Now, I didn't tell you how to say those words, but you all went love, and you all went hate. Everyone say love hatingly.
Love.
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Everyone say hate in a loving fashion.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. So those words, hate, they weren't designed to say that way. Hate, love, and Shakespeare, he does it automatically. We can go in iambic pentameter, we can go into meter, we can go into verse, we can go into this. But the minute you, kind of what we've already talked about, empower the students to make their own choices and go, wow, I just found that this word sounds like this. Shakespeare's done it for us already. He's already there. So, sorry, I'm kind of getting into where I'm going to approach my second hour stuff, and I'm just on game one. So, I want to make sure that I don't cut much into people's time. I have a flood of other games that I promise I will give you. The next game I was going to give you is called Sound Ball. Basically, I have a ball. I take the ball. We play this in a regular setting, and then we throw it across the circle, and somebody receives it. So I would throw it at Jason, and I give the sound as it goes. I go, whee! And he catches it with the same sound that I make. Ready? And go, whee! He then throws it to somebody else with a different sound. And you'll have to say their name in this.
Carmine.
Ha. Leslie. Whoa.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Megan. Shoo.
Oh,
You're muted.
muted.
I did it. I'm sorry. I was muted. What was it? Jope?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Jope. Michael. Zoom.
Zoom! Devon.
Sarah. Ah.
Ah. Jason.
Good.
Michael.
Now hold. So, can you see playing this with your kids? Yes? Okay. What the hell does this have to do with Shakespeare? Do you get it? First of all, it's freeing them up. It's connecting their bodies with their voices, but it's actually adding sound and vocalization, which we're going to be doing the minute we add that Shakespeare in. So they're ready to start playing. Once we've worked in this foreign language, we can move into any language we want after we get into that, okay? Let me establish rules. If any of you have any questions and say, I can't see this working with my kids, or, I got a bunch of badasses and they just don't think this is cool. How would you do that? Feel free to kind of share through that. At 8:03, I guarantee I've got all of the rest of these that I'm going to be playing with you, and we're just going to plow as we run through this, but I want to make sure that I transition appropriately. But name tag got us warmed up and getting vocalized with our mouths. Sound ball, physically attaching, throwing, and receiving, using, for me, the number one fundamental of all theater and all improv, which is yes and. Is everyone aware of the statement yes and? Please let me know if you don't know what yes and means. Anybody not know?
Don't know.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Yes and, fundamental, it works like this. I say yes to any choice that is given to me. So when I go wigga bagga bagga bagga, Devon went, he has no choice but to say yes, wigga bagga bagga bagga, and then he creates another choice, wigga, and sends it out. So he says yes to the choice, he affirms what is given to him, and then he adds to it with the and. So yes and, we'll come back to yes and. Yes and is a fundamental of all improv. I receive, I say yes, and I'm going to tell during another portion, Jason and Megan, those of you who work with high schoolers, there's nothing better. People shut down choices all the time. It's, oh, look, it's my favorite duck, I say to Jason in an improv scene. The high school kid responds back to me, I'm not a duck. And the scene dies on the vine when the first words out of his mouth should be quack, quack, where he says yes to the choice that I have given him. It's a gift, and then he builds onto that. So, Jason, I see you adding your head, but that's what yes and is, and we will come back to yes and as we continue through this.
Yeah. And Michael, I'm sorry to interrupt. I can't help it though. It's just in me, right? But I teach yes and with every theater class, every acting class, and with every single cast that I have because it teaches positivity and listening and not discounting your partner. Okay.
Yep. You don't discount and suddenly acting is not about acting, it's about reacting.
Correct.
And for me, Devon has been doing a bunch of work in juvenile justice and correctional facilities. It's the fundamental. When you teach that you're giving to somebody what they bring into a room, even what we're going to be doing in workshops here, I'm bringing stuff. You guys say and to it, but then you bring stuff back to me, and I take it.
Look good.
Cool.